Treatment YouTube channel. I'm Aubrey. I am a holistic hair care stylist and I love all things hair. So today's topic is about protective styling. Did you know that some protective styles can cause permanent hair loss? I'm talking about temporary styles giving us permanent issues. So today I am sharing a real case of a client who lost hair at her nape from tight braids. And we're going to uncover how our hairlines and our crowns, especially with tighter textures, how they are literally at risk, honey. They probably on the black market somewhere, these edges. But what can we do about it? Let's get into it. So here is my beautiful client. She's rocking those braids. You can tell she's feeling it. Now, this is her presenting to me on the day of her appointment. Yeah, it's time for a little loving care, a little self-care. Well, look, girl, what happened? Listen to this conversation. So when did you notice this?
I haven't.
You lying.
I haven't noticed it.
She ain't told you she couldn't braid all the way back here?
She didn't say nothing.
So you can tell from the tone of my voice, I was a little hot. Here I am observing her scalp where I'm starting to see changes from very tight follicles to a widening area in her crown, indicative of some traction alopecia and perhaps some other changes that I discussed with my client as well. So here we are. It's been almost 2 years since I had seen her. And so, of course, I blew out her hair and we're getting ready to do some hair care. Yes, I had to make it blend some kind of way, baby. Yes, she got the tapered door special. That's what I call it. But guess what? She gonna be cute. What did I give her? Yes, a true protective style. The coily go. Low tension, low manipulation, and we are able to keep that hair moisturized for weeks on end. And you see that beautiful smile. She was feeling it. She was like, I'm back. Yes, ma'am. So now we're going to grow that hair back out. Now, there's three situations that I've seen that are, I think, the biggest mistakes in so-called protective styling. Number one, you already know what it is. Too much tension. You know, the tight braids, the sew-ins, the ponytails. Let's see, the quick weaves. Yeah, the quick weaves. They are relentlessly pulling at the same spots. And if you feel pain or you notice bumps, it's a clear sign that the style is too tight. Now, I will give you this one scenario where I tried to endure a style that was too tight. The braids were to the back, scalp braids. I was looking for a beautiful break from just doing my hair. Well, baby, I felt like I needed a whole epidural in my forehead. That hair was almost folded upon itself. I felt like I could hear those hairs going bing, 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 bing all across my forehead. I was like, this is not good. So I called the stylist. I said, listen, my head is so tight. What can I do? She told me to get in the shower and put cool water and just run water all over it, get it wet. I did that. And guess what? When it finally dried, guess what? It shrunk up even more. It pulled more. I I couldn't believe that was the advice that I was given, not take it out. Fortunately, common sense came in to the picture and I took them bad boys out. I didn't care how much it cost me. It didn't matter. It wasn't going to cause me permanent hair loss with this temporary style. I mean, I had to come to my senses because I was like really debating, do I suffer? Do I keep it in? You know, who does that? Mm-mm, mm-mm. So the second thing that I have observed for people that shall remain nameless, that keep those quick weaves in for 3 months. Yeah. We have kept that hair in, those styles in, that protective style in too long, baby. 3 months is a whole season. We didn't went from winter to spring, baby. So my question is, how do you moisturize your hair when it's underneath that stocking cap? How, I mean, and then the hair on top of that, you can't. You can't. So this leads to a lot of scalp buildup. And even in a protective style such as this, our scalps, they still crave attention and hydration. They need it. 3 months is just too long, baby. Number three, repetitive stress on our crowns and our hairlines. You know, consistently styling the hair the same directions, especially at the crown or around our perimeter. The crown, especially where that hair tends to be a little bit tighter, and then the perimeters where the hair is absolutely more delicate. It will lead to breakage. Repeated tension on these sensitive areas, it can trigger traction alopecia, and where even the slightest extra pull over time, it causes lasting damage. I mean, how many of us have seen people whose hair starts literally back here, and it's you like, and you still got braids in, you you still pulling them braids up? Do you see it? I see it. Do you see it? Like, okay, now when you gonna stop, baby? Because we what, you ain't got nowhere else to go, baby. So anyway, there's that. So let's talk about more about understanding tighter textures, crowns, and hairlines. The delicate nature of these tighter textures are tighter textures that need protection, honey. We need to protect them. They need gentle handling. Let's talk about after age 40. Baby, we in preservation mode. There, the sins that we have committed in our 20s and 30s, they come home to roost in our 40s and 50s and beyond. So we just don't have the regenerative hair follicles as we did in our youth. So we can't play. We cannot play the same games with that hair. That hair will get up and leave. Don't add in hormones on top of it. So type 4 hair with its natural curl patterns, tighter textures, they have more opportunity for breakage. And there are finer strands, these baby hairs as we call them, around our perimeters and then in our crowns. These areas are more vulnerable to breakage, especially when they're overstressed. So think of your crown as the foundation of your hair. Damage here, it doesn't just affect one spot, it can compromise the entire protective style. It can compromise all of your hair when that crown gets to being sore to the touch, and all of the things that happen when we pull that hair consistently too tight. So we want to have give these particular areas extra care. It's crucial. So we want to avoid styles that add more tension, opt for designs that distribute pressure evenly, and allow room for your scalp to breathe and to be moisturized. So by that, I'm speaking of like when we're talking about, um, let's just talk about how to wear the protective style. You want to adjust your braid patterns. Um, for instance, if your hairline is fragile, always doing cornrows going to the back, that pulls this hair backwards. If you take this up, some people will braid up and have those meet, and you'll see a zigzag pattern across the back. that is actually taking that hair and pulling it up to meet that. So then you will have breakage around here. So do an anchor braid across the nape. The first 2 rows typically would be great to do a not tight, but an anchor braids, 2 anchor braids across there instead of straight back. And you can just switch it up, alternate these hair patterns and braids, especially at the nape and the crown, to prevent overloading one area. I hope that makes sense to you. But of course, we're going to keep the scalp as accessible as possible. The scalp is the engine of your hair growth. So you cannot suffocate that bad boy out under constant tension. Um, let's think about another alternative styles, head wraps. Just like that, baby. But I understand if you are in the public sector, this may not be an option for you. So, you know, at this point in time, you want to concentrate on those braid downs if you're doing a glueless wig to protect that hair and alternate those braid patterns. And I'm thinking about what other do some clip-ins. Yes, braid that hair or even just do twist. You can flat twist that hair and do clip-ins that would not be as strenuous on the hair. I think those are great options. And I think that you want to do as much as we can to preserve our hair, more importantly, and be more concerned about the long-term effects of these short-term solutions. All right. So ask yourself, am I truly protecting my hair or am I unknowingly setting it up for damage? Sometimes what looks like a protective style on the outside can be a recipe for long-term damage on the inside. So we need to really concentrate on valuing our natural hair crowns. I mean, you just don't get another one. You can't go to the store and go get one. I mean, you can, but it costs a lot of money, a lot of shmoney, like I think 10 to 15,000 to be exact, like for a hair transplant, because that's what many people are opting for because they have damaged them permanently. So let's not take it too far. Let's just find a balance here. Our protective styling should enhance our hair. It should be low tension, low manipulation, and it should add to our beauty. It should not compromise the integrity of our hair. And a little change up every now and then. There's no fault in that, but we just got to be mindful and intentional on how we move. So, have you ever noticed any issues with your hair, your crown, or your hairline? Is it moving back from these so-called protective styles? What changes have you tried? Let's spark a conversation in these comments and let me know what works best for you. What is your protective style that you go to and that you know that your hairline and your crown is truly protected? Good talking with you. Want to know more about how to minimize damage while you're in your braids? Fortunately, I've got 2 videos that can help you out. So feel free to explore. Have a good one.